Another mystery buried deep in the hills of eastern Washington keeps resurfacing. A bottomless pit said to be a pathway to the paranormal. KOMO4's Denise Whitaker heads east in search of the hole.
Have you ever wondered what lies beneath the surface of Mel's hole? Could the truth be more terrifying than we ever imagined? Scientists claim to have solved the problem of this mystery, but what have they discovered? Stay till the end of this video to learn the truth. When the mystery of this well was revealed, nobody believed it until it was almost too late. Buried deep in the hills of eastern Washington is a bottomless pit that has many people speculating since the word came out. For one, we have deep wells, but this well was quite different. It all started on a good day in the year 1997. Mel Waters, a mysterious man, called a radio broadcast, claiming to have discovered a bottomless pit capable of resurrecting creatures from the dead. On February 21st, 1997, the famous OAP Art Bell was hosting his famed late-night radio show, Coast to Coast. The show, which had up to 15 million nightly listeners at its peak, was known for its supernatural topics and conspiracy ideas, so most calls didn't bother Bell. Well, until this fateful day. A listener who had identified himself as Mel Waters called in with a strange narrative, and this narrative will become one of the most mysterious quests to ever captivate the minds of man. In his narrative, Waters claimed there was a bottomless hole on his farm in Kittitas County, Washington, with a variety of magical powers, including the ability to bring dead animals back to life. However, while the caller appeared to know a lot about Kittitas County and was most likely a native, there was no record of a Mel Waters ever living there. And they discovered no proof of the hole's existence. Looking back now, this might have been due to the lack of advanced technology we have now. Anyway, his claim was brushed on the side, for it did not seem like something that could intrigue the viewers. But Bells could not brush it off forever, as Mel was persistent to be heard. Mel Waters continued to phone it into the show, reporting to Bell 5 times between 1997 and 2002, revealing increasingly odd claims concerning Mel's hole. However, after the 5th call in the year 2002, no one heard about this man again, even till now. What exactly had happened to him? Or had his hole swallowed him up? We would never know. But while the man went missing, his claims and theories would have the world so intrigued that many would begin their investigation into the real depth of this story. Mel Waters originally came into Art Bell's show to report a mystery hole of unknown depth on his property in Kittitas County, a small, rural area in central Washington. According to KEPR-TV, Waters attempted to determine the depth of the hole by tying a roll of lifesavers to a fishing line, figuring out that if there was water at the bottom, the lifesavers would dissolve. But Waters said that after 80,000 feet, he hadn't reached the bottom and that the lifesavers were still intact. Furthermore, Waters stated that the hole exhibited a variety of unique features. It lacked an echo, for example, and animals avoided approaching it. "I brought the dogs with me," Waters stated. "They wouldn't go anywhere near the damn thing." According to Waters, his neighbour once dropped a dead dog into the pit, only for it to be discovered alive roaming the trees close to them without anything wrong with it. Art presses Mel for photographs, but Mel frequently claims he forgets to take them, which is silly. Another time, he claims that cameras do not work near the hole due to interference. However, in Mel's defence, he never monetizes anything, even if it is a scam. He could have earned a fortune selling t-shirts, books, false pictures, and whatever else people would have purchased for the cool factor. He later alleged that the US government had taken an interest in the hole and that authorities had offered him $250,000 per month to lease the land to them. However, if this were a true story, we would have no way of ever knowing. The discovery of another pit. Mel Waters returned to Bell's show in 1997, 2000, and twice in 2002. While his well-spoken and cautious demeanour initially made him appear plausible, his stories became progressively bizarre. Waters alleged that after he began speaking out about the hole, his wife vanished and his property was deleted from satellite photographs. He also said that while visiting a Basque village in Nevada, he came across a similar hole with mystical powers. This pit, like the first, looked to have no bottom, and animals were scared to approach it. While experimenting with the second hole, the Basques lowered a pail of ice into it. The opening allegedly converted the ice into a lukewarm, combustible substance that would not melt but might burn for months at a time. In the most alarming assertion, Waters stated that he and the Basque people had put a sheep into this second hole to observe what would happen if a living animal entered there. By the time they resurrected the sheep, it had died and developed a large, pulsing tumour. According to Waters, when the Basque people sliced the tumour apart, they discovered an 18-inch long monster with seal-like features but astonishingly human eyes. As Waters stared at this creature, he described how it returned his gaze with the utmost affection. He stated that the Basque people then returned the creature to the pit. Mel Waters submitted a final report to Coast in December 2002. In it, he stated that the authorities had discovered the second hole, that they had removed the burning ice, and that he suspected he was being followed. He also stated that the Basque people had informed him that the creature had visited their town several times since they had returned it to the hole, warning them of the dangers of the burning ice. Other developments. Mel Waters was not the only one who believed in the presence of a mystical hole in Washington state. Gerald Osborne, a Kitticass Valley intertribal shaman known as Red Elk, claimed to have visited Mel's hole several times since 1961, when his father first showed it to him, according to the Daily Record. Red Elk claimed the hole led to a secret underground government facility that also served as a hub for alien activity. In 2002, Red Elk led a hunt for the pit. He was joined by a group of believers who had met on Mel's hole-themed chat site. The fans felt that locating the hole would provide answers to important puzzles about the universe. Every geologist in the world should be there, Charlotte Lefebvre, the expedition search coordinator, told the Seattle Times. They need to pay attention to this. Unfortunately, the group was unable to locate it, but there was talk of a mysterious hole in Kitticass County even before Mel Waters appeared on Bell's show. Jay Nickel, 34 at the time of the hunt, raised in Ellensburg, Kitticass County's main town. He stated that as a teenager, he and his buddies discovered a hole that sounded similar to Mel's hole. It was too deep to see the bottom, and he said that throwing rocks into it made no sound. According to a snowmobile dealership employee, the myth of a hole on Manastash Ridge has been passed down through generations of locals. Lots of people talk about it, the employee said. Could be something out there, but I've never seen it. 5 years later, after not hearing from Mel, there was some individual speculations and investigations done. While the Terra server first blacked off that portion of Washington, cutting off anything and everything that had to do with Mel's house and pit hole, Google Earth finally revealed something very interesting in that location. Something that looks like what Mel described. If the military did take over the property, they would most likely have concealed the hole. Anyway, someone took the initiative to visit and document this location. On the site was a 9-foot wide hole with a stone retaining wall, as Mel mentioned. However, while many expected the fascinating revelation of some unknown truths connected to space and maybe aliens, the hole showed out to be an ancient well with a distinct bottom. The hole itself is almost geologically impossible, because think about it, a hole many miles deep would be unstable unless it was a bottomless portal to another realm. But this reality remains unclear. Scientists' discovery and conclusion. In 2017, paranormal enthusiasts and others attracted by the legendary narrative of Mel's hole banded together, armed with technology such as GoPro cameras and lighting, hoping to obtain a glance into this mysterious abyss. An unexpected turn led them to coordinates found in a Reddit post, which directed them to a random farm that may be linked to Mel's hole. When they arrived at the spot, they were confronted with the chasm's tremendous depth, and they were unable to comprehend the bottom. They resorted to tossing rocks, heightening the mystery surrounding this renowned hole. With binoculars, the squad noticed a suspicious figure watching them from a distance. However, before they could thoroughly analyze their camera footage, they felt compelled to depart immediately. The discovery of a beetle down the immense hole was a symbolic moment, emphasizing the tremendous depth of the unknown that continues to capture the human spirit. That's it. Stay tuned to our channel for more terrifying discoveries and riddles unraveled. Don't miss the next spectacular episode. Subscribe now.